Hello, people. Have you ever heard the saying, you gotta trust people until they prove otherwise? It sounds so good, right? But is that smart? Is that the wise thing to do? You gotta trust people until they prove otherwise. Many people carry this into the dating scene, the scene of dating, or in the dating platform where they meet someone, or just because somebody look good or the person has displayed a couple of kindness, they assume the person is trustworthy. That word itself is very analytical, or that word needs to be analyzed, because I realize that we just throw that word anyhow. Trustworthiness. Trustworthiness. Meaning you don't just give that trust out, right? I'll come back to that. So we just easily conclude that we can give our trust to people. Again, especially in the dating scene where people will just say, oh, he's a nice guy, she's a nice woman. But you just met the person. The look determine the character. You'll be surprised. Have you ever heard the expression, a wolf in a sheep's clothing? You can rush to trust. The world is evil. I wish I can say the world is nice, people are nice. So why are we having so much problem? Why do we have guns to protect ourselves? Why do we have security? Why do we have security alarm? Why do we, close our doors and all that? Why do we just be very careful of people? If people are just nice, people are just good. The world is evil. So your reaction to the evilness of the world is not to just trust people until they've proven otherwise. That's a risky approach. If you trust people, until they prove otherwise, by the time they prove otherwise, you lose some stuff. You lose your investment of time and resources in them. I was following, you see, the person you follow, or the ideas you follow matters a lot. Not just that, but you have to be able to analyze things for yourself too. So you gotta trust people until proven otherwise. So by the time they're proven otherwise, you wasted a lot of time. It might take a year, it might take 6 months, it might take a lot of money wasted. No. I was listening to this man, not necessarily that I say his name, who said you have to test people before you trust them. Test before you trust. And he said further that test and time before you trust. Meaning, don't just test one time and the person pass one little test and then you trust them. Well, you got to understand that trust here means you open up to the person. Trust here means you make your resources available to the person. Trust here means you invest in that person. Trust here means you make yourself vulnerable to the level of the person. Meaning, if your trust was not worthy, well, we have the word trustworthy, meaning you trustworthy or you are not trustworthy. If your trust was not worthy of it, you lose something in the process. How many people in the US, they say more than half of the marriages end up in divorce? Why? Because we jump to trust somebody. We didn't apply this theory of test and time. Test and time, meaning test the person and give it time. And keep on testing them before you give your trust, before you open up to the person. Just like, somebody outside knocking, don't open the door until you know who it is. Because the moment the person comes in, the person can jump on you, the person can rob you, the person can even kill you. So somebody knocking at the door, shine a light. If you have a light on the porch, turn the light on, see who they are, what they look like. Ask them if you don't know them. Don't just open the door because somebody knocking. People do that often and they get robbed. They get even killed. You're knocking at the door, look at who it is. Don't open the door. And find out if this person somebody you know, of course, and then you can open it if you trust the person. If it's somebody you don't know, since it could be anybody, it could be law enforcement, it could be some information coming to you from a stranger, somebody you don't know. So ask some questions and have some element before you turn the door and then the doorknob and open the door. Don't just open the door. Yeah, how can I help you? It's too late if the person want to attack you. So test and give it time and test again before you trust. In other words, do some tests, plural, to the point where before you give your trust, the tests have solidified that person is trustworthy. Meaning what? The person is worthy of the trust. Don't just, why do we call it trustworthy, but we just give it without any what attached to it? Or we give it and the person didn't prove that they are worthy of it? Trustworthy. Trust what? Trustworthiness. So don't listen to people who say, yeah, just trust everybody. I trust everybody. Yeah, come in. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do that. No. Resources are not easy to gather. If you have resources or your life, even your life, how many people have opened up to someone and it turned into a disaster? The secret and some vulnerable area of their life has been exposed. And sometimes they end up killing themselves because they have trusted this person with some stuff they never want people to know. But now that the person betrayed them, they feel embarrassed to face the world and they end up killing themselves. But what if this individual has tested that bad person and give it time and test again? I'm sure the person will know that, hey, this person, something is not right. So I shouldn't open up and tell the person this secret or that aspect of mine that I don't want people to know. Or don't open up your treasures or your belongings or whatever it is to people anyhow. Test and give it time and test again. Test until you are comfortable. Don't let anybody rush you. They'll be like, hey, why you don't trust me? I've been working for you for 1 month. Why you don't trust me? I need you for 2 weeks. Oh, really? Yeah, we are acquaintances. I'm getting to know you. I can just trust you like that. By the way, you don't just, those who do it, meet somebody online, and because the person seems nice, you feel like, oh, he doesn't sound like a bad person, like a predator or a killer or something. And you invite them to your life. You introduce them to your child or whatever. You don't do that. Go meet the person in a restaurant, in a public place. Do that a few times. And don't just rush it and trust before you test. You know how many people have died doing that? You know how many people have lost multiple resources for doing that? So please forget about that saying, you got a trust until proven otherwise. That doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound wise. Test. Give it time. Test until you are comfortable before you trust. In other words, apply trustworthiness. Is this person worthy of my trust? Test it before you give it. Thank you. Bye-bye.